Jim Bob,
Right.
hey, I'm wondering with JT, I mean, he's obviously, having a great season. Um, when he talks about how he sees the game, it seems, from my perspective, like he's one of those guys who he wants to, know the why and how and thinks about it at a fairly high level. I don't know. Is that true? Do you notice that with him? And if so, how does that inform like how he runs?
Yeah, JT does a good job of really trying to understand. I'll keep it to the run scheme stuff right now. Try to understand the run schemes and obviously how each scheme is attacking each defensive front. Sort of who's blocking who and why that's the best plan this week, and how he can use that information to sort of make his best decisions as a runner. Those running backs sometimes they're making full speed decisions, and the more you can understand about maybe which cut you're going to make or which, sort of, am I going left or am I going right based on this guy's movement or that guy's movement. The more you can understand going into that, the quicker you can play at running back. JT does a good job, sort of as we go through, installing each weekly game plan against each weekly opponent, taking those notes, asking those questions, getting his reps, whether it's walkthrough or practice, and really trying to make the most of those things to prepare himself for game day so he can just go play and play fast. And I think that's a good thing for any of our guys, for all of our guys. The better you prepare, the more you prepare, the quicker you can play on game day, the faster you can play on game day. And JT's done a really nice job of that this year.
I'm wondering one quick thing to follow up. Shane suggested before the season that JT might catch a lot of balls this year, and I think he is on pace for like a career high. Was that something you guys prioritized I mean, during the offseason, or is this just kind of happening organically, or what do you think?
Yeah, we thought, you know, directionally, the way we were heading on offense is that the ball, may get spread around a little bit in the passing game, and
Mhm.
guys were going to get catches, including the running backs. You guys are out there for certain early parts of practice. JT's always getting catches, right? You can see him catching the ball, catch their work. Him and Coach DeAndre are working so many different types of catches, just getting those reps. Um, it's a big part of the game. Sometimes, whether it's a drop back pass or a play action pass, sometimes there's a route way down the field that you know we drew up on the board and thought was going to have a chance to get open, and the defense covers it up, and then the quarterback finds that running back underneath. And JT's done such a nice job of catching the ball, maybe making that first guy miss, or even just finishing through some contact and turning maybe a catch that's 2 or 3 yards down the field into 8 or 10, which is a big part of a successful sort of offense. As you're moving those chains, it takes some of those short catches that get turned from, like I said, 3 to 6, or from 4 yards to 11 yards. JT's done a nice job with those, and he's going to keep working on it. We're going to keep finding him on those things.
Thanks.
James.
Jim Bob, obviously unique situation Sunday for you all with Anthony being rolled out shortly before the game, and then Riley Leonard is QB2. So, did you say anything to him in that moment? What was that like, just adjusting to that and preparing him for what could have been his first NFL action?
Yeah, it was a unique moment, I think, for all of us. But we sometimes when you're preparing a young player for a maybe a role that he wasn't prepping for all week, you don't want to say too much to get to thinking about too many different things. So, hey, we're ready to go play football. He's ready to go play football. That's the role of the third quarterback on game day. If your number's called, you got to be ready to go play. So things changed a little bit prior to the game Sunday, but we were confident that Riley was ready to go in there if his number was called, and he'll continue preparing as such. So he's a young player. He's excited to get in there. We had to make sure he had the sort of the pregame reps right, with like we do our 7-on-7 and our team reps, and had to make sure he knew when to go in there. So some of those things are minor things behind the scenes, but he'll keep preparing, and we'll do our best to put him in the best position to be prepped.
Evan.
Jim Bob, in your history in the league, when you do sign a quarterback in a week, what is that crash course like for you as a coaching staff, trying to get some semblance of a playbook to that guy, or maybe just the game plan to that guy?
Yeah, it's different based on the guy. I've been places where you add a quarterback in the middle of a season, and he's a veteran guy who's been in a lot of different systems and understands football at a high rate, and then you have to translate verbiage sometimes, or translate different details of the offense. And then I've been around really young guys who are maybe on their first or second or third offense, and it takes them a little bit more time sometimes. So it's different with each guy. We'll do whatever we think's best with however the situation ends up shaking out to prepare, whoever it ends up being to be ready for their opportunity.
Just a few more here, Joel.
Jim Bob, is there something about Tyler Warren that just kind of makes you guys, think back to the old school stuff? You put the ISO in. We saw the counter last week. A lot of like traditional offense from you guys with Tyler.
Well, he's got a little bit of that old school vibe about him. Walking around the building, you can't always get him to speak up. He's a man of few words. Sometimes just goes out and does his job. Just goes out and plays football, and plays with physicality, plays with toughness. There's a little bit of that old school nature to his game, which leads well to some of those roles. But we try to put him in position to do a little bit of everything. But we've talked about his ability to do multiple things, and some of those things are a little bit more of the old school nature, but those things come back around. Old school comes back around. It's like any trend. Whatever was on tape 20, 25 years ago might be the hot new play in a year or two. So he's been really versatile for us and able to do a bunch of stuff, and we'll keep trying him out on things.